No, no, absolutely not. No. I chose to watch a bad movie tonight. I chose this over Road to Perdition, which looked really good. But the people I know told me this was a really bad movie and they kept making fun of John Travolta's accent while leaving out the actual content of the film. Because this went from the first maybe 10 minutes being an absolute cheese fest, let me tell you, to, I can't recommend this to any woman. Now, here's the thing. The topics of discussion in The General's Daughter are things that absolutely need to be talked about because they are things that absolutely happen, but not like this. Holy hell. So what's this about? Well, you can probably guess, but brace yourself. So the movie's called The General's Daughter, but I'm going to call her the captain because she was in fact a captain. A well-liked captain ends up dead on an army training facility. And John Travolta is basically the Army's version of NCIS. And he changes ranks multiple times. I mean, we started out as a first sergeant, somehow turned into a warrant officer, and then by the end he was a first lieutenant, sorry. At some point he changed from gold to silver. We don't know what he is at this point. The Wikipedia says warrant officer. He told the captain he was a first sergeant. And then proceeded to hit on the captain. This was before she died. He told her that he was going to have to marry her. When they first met, I was like, what we have learned here is do not hit on the captain. But anyways, John Travolta in his fake costumes, where he's ever changing ranks, has to go find her murderer. But here's the catch. They don't want off-post police to do the investigation because apparently the sheriff from Smokey and the Bandit's in charge. So the army is having him cover up the murder while also investigating it so it can stay, like, within. So they find out that she moonlights as a dom, which, like, good for her. You know, everybody's got a hobby. But here's where it gets bad. Now, if you have any problems talking about violence of a sexual nature, you can scroll. I get it. She went to West Point. She was gang-ard. Her dad covered it up so that they could keep West Point co-ed. She found out and decided she found out that her dad covered it up, and so she's getting back at him by not only being a dom, but sleeping with everybody in his office. The night she died, she reenacted how she was found so that her dad could see what happened. All the meanwhile, apparently John Travolta knows how to do absolutely everything. He figured out her cause of death, exactly whose boot prints are in the mud, even though everybody wears the same issued boots. How he does that is beyond me. Oh, and then before all this took place, he, as the Army NCIS, whatever they're doing, are luring firearm buyers or whatever it is into the armory so that they can take them down. I don't know how that's his job. Usually he does like internal investigations. Maybe he's a government employee. I don't know where his accent went like a third of the way through the movie. I don't know if he got tired and quit or if it was a cover-up. My point being is, it's a lot of mediocre work for a very serious topic. Now here's my other beef, and this is about to get graphic, so scroll if you need. They had no problem showing basically everything. The binding, the stripping, the assaults. To put it in perspective, this was a quote from the actress. Pause to read because I cannot read that out loud. So that pretty much sums everything up, but I'd like to throw a couple of things out there. Number one, for something that impacts women so severely, there is not one woman within this except for the casting director. Not in the writing, not in the producing, and not directing. Which could explain how the fuck we got here. Number two, the U.S. Army, in fact, refused to support this film or to have anything to do with said film. I'm going to make this one a strong 0. And I'm angry. Kibba.